One of my all-time favorite jokes goes like this. The Higgs boson particle goes into a church, but the priest says, "We don't want your soul in here." However, the Higgs boson particle then says, "But you can't have mass without me." In order to understand this joke, you must first understand what the Higgs boson particle is. In something called the standard model of physics, we classified all known elementary particles, meaning particles that make up protons and neutrons. And we often organize these particles based on their properties such as mass. However, at the time, we didn't really understand where the mass came from, but we knew something had to be there that provided them mass. And that's where the Higgs boson comes into play. Also known as the God particle, since it helps give every other particle mass. It's a fundamental particle with no charge or spin associated with something called the Higgs field. The Higgs field is a hypothetical kind of force field filling the entire universe, which gives mass to elementary particles. According to its theory, all elementary particles interact with this field. The more a particle interacts, the more mass it has. Particles that don't interact at all, like photons, remain massless. The Higgs boson, however, is just an excitation of the Higgs field. To picture this, imagine the Higgs field as a sombrero, normally calm at its lowest energy state. But sometimes it can get a little excited, just like when you throw a stone into a pond and it creates ripples. However, when the Higgs field gets excited, it creates a Higgs boson instead. By finding it, we can conclude that the Higgs field also exists. Now, to find the Higgs boson itself, scientists use a Large Hadron Collider, where high-energy proton beams get smashed together at great speeds, creating conditions for the Higgs boson to briefly appear. However, the chances of a Higgs boson forming from these collisions was only 1 in a billion, and since its lifetime is extremely short, I'm talking 10 to the negative 2 seconds, it decays into different particles immediately. Observing the properties of these decay products then allows scientists to then identify the Higgs boson indirectly. Now let's go back and take a closer look at the joke. I hope you can understand it way better now.